Hey everybody, welcome back to our podcast. This is Sarshan and this is
Mayo.
Today we're going to talk about our relationship with our older sister. Ma'am,
Yes.
you want to start first?
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Shoot.
How is your relationship with your older sister now?
It got better. It gotten better.
Tell me where it started and how it changed and where you are now.
Okay, so, growing up, it was fun. It was fun to, hang around with my sister, right? But during, university years, because I'm just going to take it a little back. So the way my sister was raised versus me was completely different. There was some sort of expectations for my sister. And the expectations, a lot of rules for her. Mm-hmm. She has to be inside the house. She can't really go out. She has curfews, right? Versus me, I don't really have none of that.
Weren't you allowed to have friends?
Even that is kind of like a gray line, right? So and even things to do too, right? Sometimes my dad would give me things to do, hey, go pay this bill, go do this, can you do this for me, right? And every time I tell my dad, hey dad, why don't you just let her do it? And that's when I started to notice these instances where they put my older sister down.
She can't do this.
You can't do this. She can't do it. No, don't let her talk on the phone. She doesn't know how to talk. Right?
Yeah.
So, and that brought her confidence down. And slowly, even at one point, even I started to believe that my sister can do what I'm able to do. Right? So there's that sense of power that I have over her. You know what? Even though I'm your younger brother, as a man, I can do a lot of things.
Male privilege.
Male privilege, right? And I would start telling her what to do. And that's when we got into fights. Obviously my sister would talk back. And sometimes there will be physical violence too. But that doesn't mean my sister won't do anything, man. I got beat the shit out of my sister beat the shit out of me, man.
Yeah.
Right? And things like that happened. And I would always judge her actions. If she were to do something, and I would always tell her, well, yo, what are you doing with your life? Well, why would you do that? That's so stupid. Always judging her. But it's never the other way around. She never do that to me. So, the control that my parents had over her, especially my dad, control over my sister, slowly got transferred to me. And now I feel since I'm next to my dad, I have this control over my older sister. So now I'm going to tell her what to do. Even though I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Right? I would tell her what to do.
It's often when you don't have control of your own life.
Exactly.
It's easy to take control over someone else's.
Yeah, man. Nothing was going according to plan when it comes to my life, right? So you're right. I never had control. During that time, I didn't have control over my life. So I would tell her what to do. I would start to control her life, and things got iffy, and that's during that time is when I moved out too, right? And that's what I learned. My knowledge grew. I started to understand why things were happening, right? And then I realized where my sister was coming from. What kind of the way she was brought up, under the care of my parents, the expectations that were set for her versus me, the privilege that I had versus her. So then after that, I don't judge her, man. I just listen. If she's doing something with her life, I will listen, and I will encourage her to do it. That's the only two things I do these days. And so going back, my relationship was shit with my sister, and now it's actually gotten a little better, right? And sure, there's a room for improvement, and I'm constantly working on that. So yeah. That's my relationship with my sister, man. I wish it was better from the get-go, but it wasn't. Unfortunately, it wasn't. Right? It's because of the people around us too, the community members who often have a say in our lives.
It's toxic, man. That's the toxic.
Yeah. What about you, man? Because I know we have a similar story
Yeah.
when it comes to our father and when it comes to our relationship with our older sister.
Yeah. I'm not gonna talk too much, but I think I can relate a lot to what you were saying
Yeah.
about my older sister being unprivileged and a lot of her like rights and wants being neglected.
Yeah.
Growing up, it was a similar situation. Even at a very young age, was told to keep an eye on my older sister, and I completely regret that. At that time, I thought I was being a good boy and following my parents' instructions, but it completely destroyed the relationship I had with my older sister.
Yeah, I guess there's trust too, right?
Trust, yeah, for sure. And as I grew older, I think I started to recognize and realize that. And now we have a way better relationship. My older sister had a tough life. Like, my parents parented her. It was mostly my dad. Parented her, but not really. He would always call, like, family meetings, and my uncles and random extended family members and random people would come and parent her. Oh my God.
They would come to your house.
They would parent her, and I think that's completely unfair to her.
Oh my God.
Like, I'll tell you a small snippet of a story.
Okay.
So my sister used to do better than our team, right? So people, I don't want to say like specifically who or what or when.
Jot those names, man.
Mentioned that, because she hit puberty, it's not culturally appropriate for her to continue dancing. So my dad pulled her out of dance class. This is a small snippet.
Yeah.
Right? And it's frustrating because when those individuals now have kids, their morals and ethics about this stuff completely changes. Right? And this is how I think it should be. They let their kids do whatever they want, right? They can wear whatever they want, go clubbing, go partying, and they're giving their kids an opportunity to enjoy life.
Yeah.
Where they did the testing on like my older sister, and it's my dad's fault, right? For putting the community's perspective and opinions first before my sister's emotions, her well-being, and her feelings. Like, growing up, I think how it affected me, I knew I had to get that out of the house. Yeah. I wish she had had the opportunity to go to university, to do all the things she wanted to do, to like live away from home, to like grow, and they really demotivated her as well, saying she couldn't do this, she couldn't do that. Yeah. Like, it's not that she couldn't do it, like she wasn't allowed to. Yeah. A lot of times it's you're not capable of doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the worst. Yeah. And like, there's so many examples I can give. Yeah. All it'll accomplish is just make my blood boil. Yeah.
Like now, bro, like if they can, like now at this point in time, like they will actually point, like they would never acknowledge their mistakes. Even till
they won't.
Even till now,
it's their fault.
Yeah, even till now, like my parents never acknowledged their mistakes, right? They still like blame my sister for her
life and her life trajectory, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you ended up like this because of you. Yeah. No, because you deprived me. Yeah. And like, as being the second child and being the only males in our families, we had so much privilege. And yeah, like, I feel for my sister. She definitely went through a lot. She had a tough life. She wasn't allowed to have friends. Yeah. My dad would like yell at her friend. My dad did like a lot of not great things. Okay. So just interesting, like, just to get beat all the time.
So what about now? So what is your relationship with your sister now?
I think it's definitely improved. Yeah. But our values differ because of the way she was raised and the experiences she went through. I think in order to validate some of her experiences, she stuck to a more conservative approach, which doesn't really jive with me. Yeah. She doesn't go as far as giving me advice. She tried, but I just gotta do my own thing.
It's like two different people.
Two different people. But I still respect her and I care a lot about her. I love her a lot. And I want her life to be better. Yeah. But, you know what?
Yeah. Same man. You know, the only thing that I'm trying to do right now is just to encourage her. Support. Be there when she needs me.
No more advice.
I'm trying. No more preaching and no more advice. That's not my place. Right? I always encourage her.
what's frustrating is it feels like they went from our fathers, and nothing against their husbands. Like, they're not bad people at all, but from handed off from one male to another male.
Yeah.
Where's their voice? It got lost in between all of this.
Yeah.
It's almost like their main goal of the parents was to like get them married.
Yeah.
And
well, then it's not my problem.
Yeah, and like that's just frustrating. I don't know.
Patriarchy, man.
We'll talk about more about this stuff, and I think what's more interesting would be how it affected us and how it affected younger sisters. We'll talk about this stuff more in
the next different episode. Yeah. So thank you so much, folks, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.